Our we had a bit of a technical issue, so we are all coming in now, and so we'll just a little bit. Good to see you. Do you have a PowerPoint that you want to?
I do. I can share screen already? Can I?
Want to just check, even if it just works there for a minute or two while we're letting our attendees come in, just to make sure it's all okay for you before we get started.
Coming up okay, Lindsay? Yeah.
I see that. Absolutely great. Thank you. That's perfect.
Thank you.
And so just as an apology, if you were in our last session there with Shirley, unfortunately we had an internet interruption. So in the middle of me thanking her and finishing off, we all got cut off. So just to say a huge thank you again to Shirley, and to apologise for any of you who maybe wondered why it was cut off so abruptly, and I probably looked very rude in the middle of thanking her. So huge apologies for that. We are back on now onto the internet, and all is good. And we are absolutely delighted to have Tricia here with us. Tricia is here from Parentline NI and is going to tell us much more about the work that they do and how, again, this all builds into our idea of parents and mental health and building the village around parents when they need support. So Tricia, I'm going to hand over to you. I'm going to turn my camera off so you have the full screen, and I'll put the camera on again just when it's nearly time for you to finish, if that's okay. But thank you so much. And over to you.
Thank you. And thank you, Lindsay. Thank you, everyone, for Parent Rooms for having us here today. As we let you know a wee bit more about what we at Parentline NI what we do, and like Lindsay said, how then we kind of fit into that village in terms of parent support and early intervention and supporting parents with their mental health and well-being as they support their children. So I'll just start here. So what is Parentline? For those of you who maybe don't know, Parentline NI is the regional confidential helpline for parents and carers throughout Northern Ireland. So we do have a regional remit across the country for all parents and carers. We are funded by the Health and Social Care Board, and we are operated by CINI Children in Northern Ireland. So our base is here in Belfast. So who are we? That's what Parentline is, but who are we at the core of Parentline? So just to give you a wee idea of our staff team here at Parentline, so you get an idea of the work that we do. We have our Parentline Head of Service, June Onyekwelu, and then myself, Service Manager, and I am Tricia Monroe. June and myself are both social work qualified, and we have a depth of experience predominantly with working with children looked after. So I guess that I know for me, and I do speak for June too, in that commitment and passion for really good quality family support and parent support comes from that work, and it comes from that experience and wanting to make sure that parent support is evidence-based and is trauma responsive and informed in terms of what we deliver to our parents. And then we have our wonderful parent support team and our community connector team. So our parent support team is, the focus is our helpline and our one-to-one support with parents. And that team is made up of a variation of staff from different family support backgrounds. And we have some teaching staff on the team, family support, and those with counselling experience as well. And they work predominantly on the helpline and on one-to-one support with parents and carers. And then we have our community connector team, and the community connector team have a focus and an aim of really breaking down those barriers to parent support. So out in the community and working with parents through group work and some individual work as well. And we have some of those located across the country as well, as we do have our base in Belfast, but we do have that regional remit, so we make sure to have people that are across the country. All of our staff are engaged in continuous professional development to make sure that we are meeting the needs of parents and carers out there and the changing needs of parents and carers out there today. And all of us are parents, so we have lived experience and know what it's like to be a parent and know what it's like to be a parent through all different ages and stages, really reflected throughout the whole team. So we're lucky to have that. Our mission statement. So every parent will feel valued, respected, and nurtured on every call, and are encouraged to both spend time connecting with their children and, importantly, treating themselves with care and compassion. So how can parents reach us? So first and foremost is our helpline number there, and our opening hours. We are open Monday to Thursday, 9 until 9 at night, Friday 9 to 5, and Saturday 9 to 1. And that late evening opening on Saturday is really important for parents to make us as accessible as possible to parents, who are coming from experiences of all kinds, whether they're working or whether it's when children are down to sleep and when they have a bit of space and time. So it's important that we have that. Parents can also access through our web chat, which is found on our website, and it's operated by the same staff team and alongside the same opening hours as well. Parents also can access us through email if they would prefer to make contact initially that way, and then we will engage with them further. Parents are also welcome to follow us along on all our social media as well to see what we have going on, and we advertise across that frequently in terms of what we have happening. And then we also do have a referrals gateway where professionals or those working with parents and children can make a referral into us, and they come through our email address there. We would predominantly have most of our referrals coming through the family support hubs, and I would absolutely echo what Shirley from Parenting NI was saying earlier, the wonderful work that family support hubs do, and how we can support them in any of that work. So a lot of our referrals would come through there. We do have a referral form, and if anyone is interested in obtaining one of those following the session, you can get in touch. So what can Parentline offer? So we have our parent support team and our community connector team. So we'll start a wee bit with what our parent support team can offer. So any parent can call us at any time within those opening hours. And when they do, they will always receive a listening ear, support and guidance. That can be one-off call support. So we have plenty of parents that will make just that one call to us with whatever they are facing, whether it be that day or something that has led up to that. And they will receive that warmth and that support on that call at that time. When a parent calls us, we are there immediately, and we will take that call. And importantly, we have the time. We have time for that parent to listen to their story of how they have got to their point today, and to offer support and guidance where that is appropriate. On every call, then we can offer follow-up one-to-one support. So that can be through continuing telephone calls, or we are using Zoom and online platforms for that as well, if parents wish. And that's really important, that a parent knows that when they've made that call to Parentline, that it doesn't just stop here, it doesn't stop today, and we can continue to follow up with them because things change. And if we are given advice and guidance, it's helpful for a parent to receive that ongoing support as they start to implement those things that we have suggested or talked about. Another important part of Parentline is our signposting and information sharing. And that's a really big responsibility here at Parentline in terms of us making sure that we have adequate information of what's out there, and that we are up to date with what is available for parents and for support. So that has really been echoed throughout the whole conference today. And I completely understand that, parents find it incredibly difficult to know where to go for support. So we do take it very seriously in terms of making sure that we know what's out there and making sure that we can point parents in the right direction. But not only that, not only just passing on the information, but making sure that they have the support in the interim. So whether that is just practically making sure they have the right numbers, making sure that they have the right access to the information, and continued emotional support, because navigating the world of parent support and where to go next can be really challenging. Also resource sharing. So we have several different resources bespoke for different issues that we can share with parents on every call, and we can share that out to them in a way that is easily accessible for them. And we have a referral pathway then with our partner Relate, where any parent that is involved with us and makes a call with us, we can pass on to Relate and make that referral for some counselling for the child or family, or the adult themselves, the parent themselves. Then we have our community connector team. So our community connector team's aim, as I had said earlier, really is breaking down the barriers to parent support, which we heard a bit about earlier as well. And one of those barriers can absolutely be mental health. And we are certainly seeing that across our work with Parentline. But there are also other barriers as well that we are working hard to try and learn more information about, so that we can make sure that our services are delivered adequately and accessibly for those parents in those communities. So our parent workshops and information sessions would be delivered by our community connector team. We have run parent discussion groups, which is about bringing parents together and facilitating conversation between parents. And parent rooms, they really take the lead in terms of peer support. And we at Parentline know how invaluable that is to parents, and parents hearing from lived experience of other parents and parents that they can identify with. And we certainly found those discussion groups hugely powerful, and connections were made in those between parents, and we were able to get information from parents as well in terms of what works. And then most recently we have 2 staff within our team that are working on an ethnic minority engagement project. And they are really out there meeting with communities where English isn't their first language, and trying to obtain information from them in terms of what are the barriers, language barriers, culture barriers, and give us some more information at Parentline to help us to plan a way forward, and making sure that we are not missing this group of parents, and that we are doing what we can to make sure that we are making our service accessible to them. So who can call us? Parentline are here for all parents and carers, including grandparents, aunties, uncles, step-parents, and anyone who is caring for children. Professionals are also welcome to call our helpline number, and they can make inquiries about parents and families. And similarly, if anyone has any inquiries, they can come direct to me. But we do welcome those inquiries on our number as well. So what can a parent call about? So we've heard lots of things about different parents and parent stories, and how parents are facing current climate, and as well facing the journey of parenting. At Parentline, you can call about anything. We know that parenting for any one person is not the same. Even parents of the same child do not experience the same parenting journey. So we are here to listen to parents, no matter what your circumstances. And we will have the time for you to listen to that, and hear what you are going through as a parent, because we know that we aren't all, in the same boat when it comes to parenting. We all have different challenges, and we all have different circumstances around us. Some of the top things then that Parentline are hearing about now, and it is really important that events like this are happening, because anxiety and mental health is our top thing that we are hearing about on calls today. And that would be either children's mental health and anxiety, or parental mental health and anxiety in particular. So it is really important that our staff team here have an acute awareness of how to help parents, and where the help is in terms of signposting them in the right direction, but also giving them a bit of space to be heard on that call itself, or that session itself. We also then, some of the other top things we're hearing about are waiting lists, and just the chronic times that people are waiting for help at the minute. So we are certainly supporting a lot of parents that are sitting on those waiting lists at the minute, and just being able to be a listening ear and support and guidance in what we can do while they're on those waiting lists, and whether that be for assessment or mental health support. So it's huge out there, and it has only increased through COVID. Child behaviour, teenagers, and separation then, and there's plenty of things that we do hear about, but those would kind of be our top 5 at the minute. So all of that engagement and that listening to parents and hearing from parents directly, and whether that be through our groups or on the helpline predominantly itself, helps us to kind of drive and plan how we work and what we deliver. And we aim to really listen to parents of what is going on right now and what we can do to support parents and help parents. And some of those things then that we have are workshops, our resources that we put together, and our podcast. And each of these we try to make sure are reflecting what parents need and what parents want to have at the minute. So we've had a few different workshops that we have ran over the last while, and our formative years workshop was in spring this time. This year, and we're currently running a bounce back program, helping parents to manage those problem solving skills and building resilience, as well as navigating big emotions and child behaviour at home. And we will have more to come, because as we say, as we build our knowledge of what parents want and what's out there, we start to plan in terms of our workshops. So coming soon, we will have a workshop around teens, because that is one of the key areas, as I identified before. And our resources. So again, through listening on the phones and hearing parents and what they're going through, as a team, then we pull together some bespoke resources that then we can share out with parents. So in May, June time, we were really hearing from parents that there was a sense of anxiety, a sense of anticipation and worry over managing the long summer break. And managing that through after the children had been off already for such a long period of time. People's finances were low, and the summer break seemed like a long time to occupy children again. So at Parentline here, we developed what we titled our Summer Survival Suitcase, which was a helpful resource for parents and carers to help occupy their children then over the long summer months. And that had a really good uptake, and lots of parents really enjoyed the resource pack and enjoyed the support that we were able to offer through that as well, and through their request. Similarly then, coming into September time, there was a lot of anxiety again about starting primary school. So we put together some resources around that, and we continue to build our go-tos, as we call them over here in Parentline, in terms of all those different top issues that parents are dealing with. And on every call, parents will have access to these things. We can share them across with them in whatever way is most accessible to them. And we have our podcast, which is hosted by the lovely Kerry McLean. And our podcast topics and what we talk about is really driven again by all of that learning from parents and making sure that we are delivering interesting and also relevant podcasts that parents then want to tune into. So that's available on all podcast platforms if you just search for Parentline NI. And then this week we were delighted over here at Parentline NI to be rated number 7 on the top 15 UK parenting podcasts, and that was by FeedSpot. So that was great. We were delighted, and Kerry's been delighted with that, and really timely ahead of Parenting Week. So Parenting Week then, as we've heard a wee bit about, which is happening next week. So with Parentline NI, our message really is that we're here, and we want to make sure that we share out as much across our social media and get our name out there as much as possible, so that parents know that we are here and that we are in your corner. So no matter what you have going on, that we are here. So we have a few things going on then over the week. We're kicking it off with a coffee morning on Monday, which will be hosted by Kerry McLean, our podcast host. And that's just an opportunity for anyone and everyone, parents, professionals, anyone who's interested to come along and hear a little bit more about Parentline. Most importantly, just have a hot cup of coffee. We will have our Parenting Week prize draw, and we are also then going to just be having a bit of fun across our social media as well with parents, and getting them to share their top 3. So time saving tip, looking after me, and parenting hack. And that's really coming from our discussion groups and our working parents, our peer support in trying for parents to support parents, and have a bit of fun as well throughout the week to celebrate. So this is just on finishing really a wee bit about what parents have said about Parentline. So I'll let you read through that. I will just pick out my favourite one there. It just says, you know what, today talking, I feel like I've got my ducks in a row. And that was a parent who went on to have some one-to-one support with us. But on that first call, there was a lot going on, and she went through everything that they were experiencing as a family, that she was experiencing as a parent. And by the end of that first phone call, she felt like she got her ducks in a row. And I just think that's really powerful. And it's a message of what we at Parentline can do in terms of helping to support parents support themselves, because they do the work and they know what they need to do. It's just having a sounding board to talk to and helping and us pointing them in the right direction. So that's one of my favourite phrases now, and I say it quite often. So that just leaves me to say thank you. Thank you to Parent Rooms for having us here, and hopefully I've been able to give you a flavour of what we do over here at Parentline, and that we are here and that we are in your corner for all parents, no matter what the circumstance. So thank you.
Absolutely fantastic. Thank you so much, Tricia. That was really, really interesting and great to hear about the work that you do, and also to hear of your plans for next week for Parenting Week. So we'll be watching out for that as well online. But thank you so much for joining us, and thank you for sharing with us. We are just about we don't really have many time for questions, unfortunately, because we are running into our next session. But again, thank you for joining us, and to all our attendees. I think Christina has been putting in the link again for our final session of the day. So thank you, Tricia. Thank you, Parentline and we'll see you all in the next session.
Thank you.
Thank you.